The importance of building a support network. So often we're going through life and things are okay, and we don't think what we're going to do when things become tough, and they can become tough. So it's a really good idea, I think, if we have in place good relationships with people that aren't necessarily about, what they can do for me, but also about what I can do for them. But so we have this, what do they call it, anti-fragility, basically. So that when times become hard, we're not on our own, we're not just completely stuck, not knowing where to go, where to turn. And there's different types of relationship you might have. So one really good resource that I found is a thing called Andy's Man Club, where you get a group of men going around in a circle talking about their challenges and that. And that's one really good form of support. But it's not particularly personal in a sense, and you don't really have a lot of opportunity to kind of get feedback and have those kind of more intimate conversations. So it's really important to cultivate friendships where you can have those kind of discussions about, maybe I'm not feeling great, and maybe I'm upset, and, maybe I've got some confidence issues or whatever. And the person you're talking to isn't going to be like, hey, don't talk to me about that. That's too kind of emotional, or, just not their language. So developing those kind of relationships. Now, obviously, you can have that kind of relationship with a therapist or a counsellor. That's brilliant. In an emergency, you can call the Samaritans or other services that are kind of designed for that. But I'm talking about more generally having this view of anti-fragility in terms of your emotional well-being. And it's a two-way street. So, I'm not just saying you need to be taking and receiving all the time. It's like, offer people support when you're resourced and you're feeling strong. Maybe look in your circle of friends and see if there is anyone that needs a bit of support. Maybe they're not voicing it, but you might sense it, and you can step up and say, is there anything I can do to help you? That kind of thing. But just thinking about, how am I going to cope if something really bad happens that I hadn't anticipated? Like you might become very ill, that can happen. Or you might suffer a bereavement. Or you might have just some kind of, emotional crisis or midlife crisis or something like that. And it's at times like that when all this kind of groundwork in terms of building supportive networks suddenly becomes really relevant. So I encourage people to think about that now, even if you're not necessarily needing it now. And again, to think about how you can be part of someone else's support network. Okay, thanks for watching.